So the second day in Luxor, I'm going to visit the Karnak temple. I came to the complex. I think the entrance is over there. Now I got into the visitor center and bought my ticket for 600 Egyptian pound. Like it's around 10 euros. But it's quite crowded. And this is the whole complex, the model of the complex. So we just went through 2 security checks. They scanned our bags and everything. And now finally entered to the site. So what is this whole area? I did some reading last night. It's one of the largest religious complex built around the world. It's a giant, and it was built over a long time, almost like 4,000 years ago, by the pharaohs, and each pharaoh during his or her throne built something additional. And this section looks like there's a row of ram sculptures, and right under the head, the chin, you have the pharaohs. I think they're different, they're not the same. So this one here is the Temple of Ramses. Let's go inside. The whole complex actually was built and dedicated to their supreme god Amun-Ra, and over 2,000 years different pharaohs, I think they all added something to the complex. They just wanted to leave their mark. So on this section there are giant columns with some figures carved onto each. There's some information here about these columns. Like there are in total 134 columns, and I think the width was around like over 100 meters. So these are just like enormous, really. The columns, how they built it at the time. Wow. On each column there are a lot of details, like many different carvings, mostly animal figures and also some human figures. I think like mostly offering some stuff to their gods or something. So because this section is mostly used for rituals. Like here, for instance, one human figure holding some kind of drink or food. I think there's an eagle figure up there. Seems like some of the columns also were colored before, but now only a few of them actually you can see the colors. So the high up, there are different colors too. I wonder how much it weighs. One of these columns looks like tons probably. Honestly, you feel very small and tiny when you're walking around these columns. I wonder how much work, effort they put into building this kind of structure. It's quite amazing, really. So the shape of the columns was inspired by the papyrus plant. So the shaft represents the plant's body, and the top is the papyrus flower, just spreading a bit. Because papyrus plant actually it represents the Nile River and also creation and life. So it has a spiritual meaning. And all these human figures are repeatedly shown on each column. Actually, they represent mostly presenting some kind of food or incense or water to God. So this kind of symbolizes, it's kind of a propaganda for the pharaohs actually. It's like God chose me, so I rule this land, and I'm offering the God some of the things like water, food, incense. So there are many different symbols on each column, and these symbols mostly represent life and control, divine power and stability. And they were repeatedly carved onto each column. Actually, repetition means strength. So that's why, I mean, they look all the same, but they kept repeatedly carving the same things over and over again. Like even here, it's usually the human figure offering some kind of presence. This is the whole layout of the temple. So we started from there, and now we are passing by the hypostyle hall. And it looks like there are, like here, there's a timeline showing all the pharaohs that throned at the time, and they were building different structures during their time. Other stuff.
They are not normal.
The site is actually much bigger than I expected, because here's the main pathway in the center passing through, and also on the outside there are also many rubbles and many different parts of the temple. But I think they are there's some kind of restoration work going on this part. But it's such a huge place. I mean, amount of detail and all the structures. Wow, it's unbelievable, really. Also, I'm curious, like, how did they put those beams over the top of the columns? I mean, what kind of engineering? Probably they use some kind of levers or something like that. But still, it's quite fascinating actually. These are some of the sculptures of the pharaohs. I think this one is Ramses II, and Hatshepsut, which is a woman. So all of these structures are made out of sandstone, which is easy to carve, I think, but also not very sturdy and durable. And because of that, I think over time, because of wear and tear and the weather conditions, most of these sandstones are worn, and some of the figures cannot be even seen. And also there's damage probably from, I don't know, from people. So here there's a small pond. I think it was used for cleansing and cleaning before the rituals, and it's still filled with water. Here the security guards are also trying to act like guides, and they show you around and they try to explain you things and expect some tips. The columns here look a bit different. Much smaller. So inside the complex you have to pay for using the toilet, and they charge you like, he asked for €2, and I said no, and he said €1, and I said I'm not paying more than 10 Egyptian pound for using the toilet, and he said okay. I mean, you have to negotiate the price for everything pretty much. They try to scam you all the time. You gotta be alert, you know. It is what it is. That's the culture here, which is quite sad actually, but what can you do? So I kind of completed walking around the whole temple. I mean, it's quite massive. I mean, like the whole area. It took me almost like 2 hours, more than 2 hours to cover most of it, and pretty impressive. I mean, overall, the columns, the history, the structures, carvings, like all the details. I mean, it's just, they're so beautiful. So I'm glad that I came. At least I witnessed. So this was kind of my first visit to ancient Egyptian times. So it was good. I liked it, and I paid around like almost 10-12 euros. I mean, it's fine for this kind of such a huge place. I think it's worth it. So now I'm walking to the city center along the river. Looks like these some of these cruise ships, actually they're cruising down the Nile river. There's one city called Aswan, another ancient city. It goes all the way down there. Inner parts of the city seem a bit chaotic and like really dirty, but at least this part along the river banks, not so bad. And at night time probably lots of people taking a walk, like having a drink or something in the cafes, restaurants, eating food. I just asked the boat ride to the other side. It's 25 Egyptian pound. So return is like 50. So I walked all the way back almost. I'm close to the Luxor temple right now, right next to it. It's too hot right now and I'm a bit tired, so I'm gonna take some rest in the hostel and then come back here late, like in the afternoon, maybe 3-4 p.m. That looks pretty nice. Just looking at it in the daylight, I'm not sure if it's really worth visiting Luxor temple, to be honest. It looks much smaller and also not much different from Karnak temple. The columns look very similar with fewer carvings on them, and also much smaller, I think. Yeah. So not sure now. I'll decide probably later on. So I came to a local restaurant. I'm gonna try the traditional Egyptian food. It's called koshari. It's like this. There's this tomato sauce and rice and chickpeas, lentils. So I guess we're gonna have to pour this over. Oh, there's pasta too, I guess, on the bottom. Yes. I just mixed it up. It's nice, lots of flavor, and the fried onion actually makes it a bit crunchy. I like it. So the food was good. I only paid 45 Egyptian pounds, so almost like $1. I think good for the price. So I decided to visit the Luxor temple as well, especially at sunset. I heard there's nice views, so now I'm gonna buy the ticket and go inside. So I just bought the ticket and entered. It cost me 500 Egyptian pound, so roughly $8. Actually more than $8, like 8, 9. So sun is about to set in half an hour. So my plan is to see the place like in daylight and also at night time. I've seen some good pictures actually at night time. So there's an information board here showing the layout and also giving some information about the religious temple. It was built like almost 3,500 years ago, or like over the throne of 3 different pharaohs. And so looks like here at the entrance we are right here, and there are obelisks on both sides. Only one is here actually. The other one I don't know, either stolen or just I don't know, destroyed. There are also statues of Ramses II, these ones, and there are pylons, and beyond the pylons there's a courtyard, and then the columns, and then other different chapels. This avenue goes all the way to the Karnak temple. It's almost like 2.7 kilometers. This road goes to the Karnak temple. ChatGPT says this obelisk here is in Paris right now, so they stole it pretty much. So these are seated Ramses II statues. Now I'm going to the courtyard.
Also, guys, you can notice that
again, the columns look similar to the ones in Karnak temple, and also carvings are very similar. So this is the courtyard. So inside the temple there's a mosque as well. I don't know when it was built, but I think during the medieval times. So they built this mosque inside the temple, and I think there's also church and chapels as well. These statues, I think they're made of granite stone. I mean, it's pretty impressive. It must weigh a lot. But some of them, especially the faces, are destroyed. I don't know why. Because Sometimes I think the pharaohs, when they came to the throne, they were trying to erase the past pharaohs' works, or also just to actually absorb the previous pharaohs and to show that, oh, it's all me actually. I made all of this. Same shape as Karnak, representing the papyrus plant's stalk, the shaft, and also the top papyrus flower. This is also quite a big open space, kind of square shaped. On each side, how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. So 11 columns, actually 22 columns. I mean, 3,500 years ago. This area is kind of like a closed area and very well lit. You can see the carvings better. Now it's fully dark and it looks like everywhere is lit. Has a nice view. Now I see why they say come here at night time with the lights. It looks spectacular, really.
Was here on the right somewhere.
I think Luxor temple during daylight it didn't look very special, especially after visiting Karnak temple. But at night time it's really beautiful. I mean, with the lights, it has this like mystical feeling. I don't know how to describe, but I'm glad that I came. So now I'm leaving the temple and I just saw this map here showing the map of Egypt and all the historical sites. So I was here in Hurghada and I took the bus, came over here, Luxor, and there's another historical city called Aswan down the river Nile. And then after Luxor, there are many actually sites along the river. But my plan is to go to Cairo. I just wanted to come to the city center again, just to go around a bit and check it out. I'm at the Bazaar section of the city, I think mostly for tourists. There are shops selling clothes, souvenirs and other stuff. And I bought myself a sugarcane juice for 20 Egyptian pound, so less than 50 cents. It's very refreshing. A bit too sweet though, but it's fine. That's what I needed actually. I just took a nap at the hostel a bit and then decided to walk around. I think there's a lot of cheap stuff. Looks like they're selling like some papyrus paper and some drawings. It's interesting. There are some exotic spices and teas. Some of them are burning the scents, giving out like nice smell. I think it's quite popular here. Like something like this, they're burning it. Hello, salam alaikum. And they sell alcohol in certain places as well. Like they have alcohol too. So for tourists, I think mostly. I'm on one of the main streets now. Looks pretty lively, lots of people. It seems like people are avoiding the heat during the daylight, and they get out of their houses at night time to enjoy the cool weather. Honestly, it's too noisy outside. Wherever you go, it's just cars honking. People are annoying sometimes. They keep coming to me, approaching me, trying to sell me something. I mean, it's a bit overwhelming, to be honest. And these horse carriages, like, they're everywhere, and they don't follow the rules at all. And those guys are also annoying. They keep asking. I mean, they're really hustling, you know, like the hustle culture here. I can feel it here. It's in the air. This place looks like a bakery. Nice bread. I think today I've had enough, so it's time to go back to the hostel. Like what I experienced, I think it's comparable to what I see, especially when I watch those videos on YouTube, like when people go to India, Pakistan, or some of those underdeveloped countries, and they're showing us all the things, and I think I'm having a similar experience, but it's fine. I mean, it's not a big surprise for me, actually. I was expecting this, so it's fine.